Hello and welcome to another edition of Fantastic Five. This week we're counting down the best time travelers in superhero comics. Time travel has been a staple in superhero comics almost since the beginning of the genre, and the most notable early example of the trope is Superboy meeting the Legion of Superheroes and joining the team in the 30th century. There have been a ton of great time-traveling stories featuring iconic characters, such as Iron Man and Doctor Doom going back to Camelot in Doom Quest, The Flash's many trips on the cosmic treadmill, and Batman's journey through history in The Return of Bruce Wayne. However, for our list, we'll be looking at characters whose gimmick is based around time travel, rather than the ones who are occasional chrono tourists. Let's start the countdown. Number 5, Per Degaton. Per Degaton was an assistant to a team of Nazi scientists dedicated to building a way to travel through time and secure advanced weaponry from the future to aid the war effort. He betrayed his mentors and stole the time machine for himself, attempting to change the course of the future by altering the past, but was stopped by the Justice Society of America at every turn. This cycle occurred repeatedly, with Degaton murdering his mentor and stealing the time machine, only for the JSA to wipe his memory and reset the timeline. However, when the loop left Degaton without access to the machine, he became a paramilitary commander and joined the Injustice Society of the world. In the present day, he attempted to make sure the Justice Society would never reform by meddling in their past and manipulating the death of President Truman and blaming it on the atom. However, he was stopped by the combined forces of the past and present Justice Societies coming together to protect the time stream once again. Number 4, Hourman. The Hourman android was a sentient machine colony from the 853rd century and was built on a template provided by Rex Tyler, the first Hourman. The new god, Metron, appointed Hourman his heir and entrusted him with the Warlogog, a complex and ancient map of time and space. As a member of Justice Legion A, he was manipulated by Solaris the Tyrant's son into unleashing a virus upon the 20th century. And after the crisis was over, he chose to remain in that timeline to improve himself as a person. He sought out the Justice League's old mascot, Snapper Carr, to help his personal growth, and dismantled the Warlogog to limit his omnipotent abilities and ground himself in the real world. After meeting Rex Tyler's son Rick, Hourman left the 20th century to allow him to embrace his father's destiny. When Rick attempted to take Rex's place and die in the fight against the villain Extant, the android returned and camouflaged himself to look like Rex, allowing the father and son to be reunited, but died in the process. Number 3, Kang the Conqueror. Kang was born in the 30th century, and as a descendant of Victor Von Doom, he was obsessed with the concept of time travel, eventually finding his ancestors' time platform and using it to navigate the time stream. While Kang's motives and plans vary, one of the most constant sources of motivation for him was the Princess Ravana, whom he sought to impress. Kang's own personal history through the time stream was so complicated that there are numerous incarnations of him crisscrossing through time, most of whom hate each other. First, he was Egyptian pharaoh Rama-Tut, before becoming the Scarlet Centaurian. He was then Kang the Conqueror, and that identity was followed by Immortus. Attempting to make himself stronger, he recruited his younger self, but this incarnation rebelled and became the hero Iron Lad. Iron Lad constantly worried about his destiny to become Kang, a destiny he began to fulfill when he abandoned the Young Avengers and took on the mantle of Kid Immortus, allying himself with Doom and Annihilus. Number 2, Booster Gold. Michael John Carter was a disgraced former football player from 25th century Gotham City, who used his job as a museum janitor to steal a number of important artifacts and journey to the 20th century where he could reinvent himself as a superhero. After saving the life of the president, he fumbled his way through introducing himself and accidentally was stuck with the name Booster Gold. While Booster was most often seen as shallow and materialistic, he had a genuinely heroic streak and was always there when it mattered most. He faked his death to root out the evil Mr. Mind who was attempting to devour the multiverse, and alongside Time Master Rip Hunter, he saved not just one universe, but 52 of them. Joining up with Rip, Booster became a protector of the time stream, while still keeping up appearances as a vapid loser in the modern day. When the universe was reshaped thanks to the Flashpoint Paradox, Booster was one of the few survivors and was reborn as the cosmic being Wave Rider, who not only saved the multiverse once again, but helped resurrect infinite Earths. And number 1, Cable. Nathan Christopher Summers was the child of Cyclops and Madeline Pryor, who was infected by the techno-organic virus and was then taken 2,000 years into the future where he could be cured by the Ascani clan. He was prophesized to one day grow up and kill Apocalypse, and after many hard-fought battles against Apocalypse's army and Nathan's own clone, Strife, he traveled back in time to the 20th century to prevent the villains from ever coming to power. As the mysterious Cable, he led the New Mutants and the team they would become, X-Force. Later, after the birth of the first mutant in years, Cable was entrusted with her safety and took her into the future where he could keep her safe from the mutant Bishop, who believed the child would be the downfall of mutant kind. After many years jumping forward in time, the child Hope grew into a young woman and returned to the present with Cable to fulfill her destiny. Cable then vanished into the time stream once again, but found himself stuck in the 20th century, unable to make any more jumps. He then joined the Avengers Unity Squad to help fight the Red Skull. Thanks for watching this episode of Fantastic 5. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Comics Alliance, and check out comicsalliance.com for more comics awesomeness.